What is going on, community? It is TJ, aka Flash by Night, and we are back here for the re-up. I have some new comic book day books, just 4 of them. I missed out on a couple, but I have some hunting I did in North Carolina over the weekend, so I will bring you those books also. So before we get started, go ahead, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we are going to get started. My first book for a new comic book day is, I think, everybody's most anticipated book or comeback book of the year, which is Saga. This is issue number 56. For most people in the community who read comics, who picked up Saga, most of them have been Saga fans for a long time, have read issues number 1 through 54. They go way back. I knew nothing about Saga, and I wanted to keep it that way when I read issue number 55, just as an experiment. Now, for those of you who urged me to go back and read the first 54 issues of Saga, I promise I'll get to it. The app, the comic book app, which shall remain unnamed, that caused quite a bit of a stir over this past weekend, does have Saga's first 3 or 4 trades on Unlimited. So I will, sooner or later get around to going back and picking up Saga and reading it from the beginning. But I will tell you, I read issue number 55. I really enjoyed it. I feel like if you just started at 55, you could pick right up. You may not know the context of a lot of things going on, but you can pick up right there and kind of jump into the story. And that's what I did. And the last page, because I don't know anything about the families, I don't know a lot about the history of the book. So the last page was pretty funny because you got space pirates, and the very last page of the book just made you go, I'm your pusher. If you get that line, if you get that reference, you either had good influences or bad influences. I'll let you take your pick, but Saga issue number 56 is what we're going to get into, and I am going to see what it has in store. Next book I picked up, Heathens issue number 4 from Aftershock. Believe it or not, as much as I was looking forward to it, I haven't even read issue number 1 yet, but I do have it. From my understanding, Heathens is basically like a real life kind of supernatural Suicide Squad, where you have some of history's shadiest characters coming back from the dead to hunt down Jack the Ripper. That's what I understand about it, but I haven't actually read the book to get much context. I will get on that sooner or later. Also, I've really got a lot of catching up to do. So we're going to catch up on Heathens somewhere down the road, and maybe sometime soon I'll let you know what I thought. Next book up for a new comic book day, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 35. We have been on the trail of the Assessor with Miles and his clone brother Shift. If you have not checked out the Miles Morales Spider-Man Clone Saga, it's issues number 25 through 28. Really quick, really self-contained. It was a so-so story, but it ended up giving us at least one clone that kind of turned and got on to Miles's side. His name is Shift. He's kind of big and powerful, but he only knows one word, that's Glurp. But he and Shift are on the trail of the Assessor, and I think they have found the Assessor, but I think they may be in for a rude awakening. I read ahead for the synopsis for issue number 36, and they are going to find themselves in a very weird place. So we'll check out 35 and see how we get to where we are supposed to go. And my last book for New Comic Book Day, Dark Ages issue number 5. And are we finally going to get our version of Miles, Venom / Carnage, or whatever this is? I've been looking forward to seeing this character in this story, and thus far we haven't gotten it. So I assume that this cover is telling us what we're going to get. For those who haven't been reading Dark Ages, it's a Elseworlds mini-series where basically a god attacked and the heroes turned it back, but in the middle of all that, the world went dark, and Apocalypse used that time and that chance to take over Europe and in hopes of taking over the world. So we're gonna see where we go. I think it's a 6-issue run. Yeah, we'll check it out. And those were my 4 books for New Comic Book Day. I am missing Robin issue number 11, and I am missing Transformers Wars End issue number 1, which I was really looking forward to. I've been reading back through the Transformers IDW run, and it's kind of leading up, in my estimation, to the Transformers war that ruined Cybertron and sent the Autobots and Decepticons to Earth. We're kind of playing before that timeline, and so I want to see what's going on, but it didn't come in. So we're gonna have to find that book sometime sooner or later. I'm not gonna fret. Of course, I am the tracker, so I'm gonna track it down.
Scourge, the tracker.
But we're gonna skip that, and we're going to go to the books that I found over the weekend while I was digging in a couple of shops in North Carolina. First book I found was one DC book that I needed that I didn't have recently, and that is Dark Knights of Steel, issue number 4. So that is another Elseworld story by Tom Taylor, basically putting our DC characters in a Game of Thrones kind of environment, and giving us some new characterizations and a twist on one of the most famous families in DC. Next book up, I'm gonna move fast because I got a lot of them and I don't want to keep you guys here all day long. Next book up, Superman, Son of Khalid, issue number 4, the second print. I will say, for a book that's not supposed to be selling, it was awful hard to find this book, but I finally found a copy. So now I can read, because I have 5, 6, 7, I believe 8 and the annual, but I did not have 4, and I've been stuck for some weird reason. I couldn't move past it, but I have it now, and we'll read it, and we will see what the whole story for John Kent, Superman, Son of Khalid, really is like. Next book, I think this is the last issue of this Gem World story with the Flash and with Wally West, the Flash, and Eclipso and Wally West's children. This story here has been basically telling 2 different stories. We've been on 2 fronts. We've been with Wally on Gem World trying to find out what's going on, and we've also had a story with Wally's kids and someone trying to kidnap Meadows and kidnapping the wrong kids, basically. But supposedly this issue is going to bring both of those stories to a head, and maybe Wally's kids help Wally out of a jam. Speaking of the Flash, I have, let's see, what is this? DC Universe Rebirth, The Flash, issue number 1, and also The Flash Rebirth, issue number 1. I was hanging around this bookstore in Greensboro, and they had a few Flash books for under $1, including these 2. So I had to pick them up, you know, for the brand. Boom. Then we have The Flash issue number 5 with Barry's Day Off. Next, we have The Flash issue number 7 with Flash being attacked by Godspeed. Of course, you know, the villain August Hart bust on the scene, really popular, really let down by the TV show. I hate to say it, but we are here in Rebirth. I sold a lot of my Flash Rebirth books when I first started reading and first started collecting and didn't know what I wanted to collect. Now I'm going back whenever I can find them at a decent price and I'm picking them up. And then there's one book that I say, and I've said, I always grab it when I see it for a good price. It's not monetarily valuable, but I just love this cover for Flash. What is this, 56? I don't know what it is about this cover and Flash kind of in the starting blocks. But I have like 4 issues of this just because I love this cover with like the silver lighting going on. Yeah, had to pick that up. Next, I have Flash issue number 74, which is I think the last issue in the year 1 story for Barry Allen, which is basically a retelling of his origin story, fleshing it out a little bit, maybe putting a little bit extra into his origin story, because in year 1 he accidentally, you know, as a new speedster, he accidentally runs too fast and runs into the future and runs into his future self and a future version of the Turtle, and it's one of the more pivotal moments in Joshua Williamson's run. Also, I did a cover challenge, one of the Bearded Comic Bro cover challenges, which I think now is the Bearded and Cole cover challenges. But it was a cover challenge for DC covers, and my honorable mention was the set of covers from The Flash year 1, and I noticed that I did not have issue number 74, but I found it for $1 in a Second and Charles, and so now I think my year 1 story is complete. Next up, Justice Society of America, issue number 8. I believe that is Liberty Bell on the cover. I believe it may be an Alex Ross cover. So yeah, we have double duty basically. Liberty Bell by Alex Ross. If it is not Liberty Bell, y'all help me out, but I believe that is so. Next book I have is Justice League of America, issue number 17, with Black Lightning on the cover. Black Lightning, enough said. Justice League of America 17. The next book I have is a Southern Comic Geek special. XO, Man of War, Iron Man in Heavy Metal. Is this alright, so this is number 1. So it may not be a one-shot, but found this again for $1 in a comic book store in Jacksonville, North Carolina, because I was on the move this weekend. Couldn't help but pick it up. It's a Valiant Marvel crossover, what have you. So had to get it. Shout out to Southern Comic Geek, who is a big Valiant fan. Next book I have was really funny because I went to several stores looking in the dollar bins, looking in the back bins for Moonlight comics, and they were fresh out. Like Moonlight has been shopped out everywhere. I guess everybody has Moonlight madness with the show coming up, and the bins that I used to see Moonlight in, I hardly see any Moonlight in. But I did run into Marvel Superheroes Spring Special with my guy on the front cover. Again, what is this, a $2 book? Had to grab this. I saw it on somebody else's show a while back, and I started to go on eBay and pay $8, $10, $12 for this book, what have you. But I ran into it, $2. Can't beat the price for Marvel Superheroes Spring Special with Moonlight on the front. Speaking of a book with Moonlight on the front that is not a Moon Knight book, Marvel Age issue number 74, again with Moon Knight on the cover. This was a little more. This was $5, but I think it is $5 well spent. I've tried to get this book before. I don't think I could have got it for $5 other places. So this is a good grab. And my last Moon Knight-ish book is a book I have a few copies of, but I wanted one more because it was $3, and it is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 79. This has the first appearance of the Ultimate Moon Knight. You may have seen this book a couple of times before on my channel. I also like issue number 80, which is the first cover appearance for the Ultimate Moon Knight, and I love that cover so much more. But 79 is the first appearance, and we had to have it. Next book up is another Spider-Man book, technically. Spider-Man Marvel team up, Spider-Man and Howard the Duck. This is a 40-cent book. It's not in the greatest of shapes, but it was $2, and it's Spider-Man and Howard the Duck. So if we divide it in half, we got $1 for Spider-Man and Howard the Duck for $1. Speaking of Howard the Duck for $1, how about we get more duck for our buck? Howard the Duck issue number 4 with Howard and Doctor Strange. For some reason, I really want there to be an amalgam in this book, some kind of magical mix-up between Doctor Strange and Howard the Duck, and they combine to be this character called Doctor Strange. If that's not in here and Marvel uses that, you guys remember they owe me a cut. But Howard the Duck, Doctor Strange, and Howard the Duck issue number 4 by Chip Zdarsky. If you have been hanging around, you know that I pick up Howard the Duck whenever I can get them, especially for the right price. Next book, Howard the Duck issue number 5, hanging out with She-Hulk and Squirrel Girl and the Fantastic Four and who's that, Silk and Captain America. Yep, that's right, Captain America. Say it with me. Howard the Duck issue number 5. And my last book, issue number 2, Howard the Duck. Howard in 2016. I asked this over the weekend if it is too late for Howard to run again. 2024 is coming up, and what more appropriate year for Howard to run than 2024? Give us more duck for our book. And that is, if I don't drop it, that's the last of my books, and that is the re-up. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. If you did enjoy yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me, picking up my comics wherever I might be, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Of course, feel free to leave comments. And as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others. If you're in the premiere, thank you for watching, and I will be back in a flash.